got NBA action tonight. Klay Thompson, Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jokic. Go through them. Why you laddering the threes, and why do you like Jokic?
Yeah, so the 3 spot, we have a lot of teams tonight. It's a small card, obviously, right? 10 games, or sorry, 10 teams are playing 5 games. We have like the 3 worst teams in terms of allowing above the break threes on the card. It's the Utah Jazz, it's the Boston Celtics, and it's the LA Clippers. They're all allowing more than 10 above the break threes made per game. For those of you who don't know what that is, the NBA specifies corner threes as anything from the baseline to the free throw line from a 3-point angle, and then anything above that is called the above the break zone. So those teams are allowing a ton of above the break threes. For Dallas specifically, this is a huge pace up spot for them. Utah's running at the second fastest clip in the NBA. They're also the second worst defense in the NBA in terms of the defensive rating. And when you're allowing a ton of threes in a pace up environment, I'm looking always at the best shooters on this side for these teams. That is the Klay Thompson spot. He's hit 3+ 3-pointers in the last 11 of 14 games. He also ranks in the top 25 in the NBA from above the break. Max
Where are
Christie
you
is also,
laddering this to, by the way?
yeah. So I think Prize Picks specifically believe they had the Demon at 3.5, and I would be super interested in that. I think 3 is probably like the base market. So I'm laddering this to 5. I think there's certainly ways where he can get 5+ threes. And I think that's really strong. Like he's not. So the thing with Klay this year specifically, I wouldn't be playing his points nightly. I would just look at this 3 number. If it's a good matchup, a top 5 matchup, I throw a little bit more money on like the max ladder spot. So that's what I think tonight is. It also helps that we don't have any D'Angelo Russell, who kind of just soaks everything up there. So he's out. I do expect Anthony Davis to play, and that should help the spacing for that team in general. So I like Klay Thompson a lot, Max Christie as well. What else do I have on this list for you?
Duncan Robinson,
Duncan
3-point ladder,
Robinson.
Jokic.
Yeah, tough spot is tough for this game. I don't like a lot of Pistons Celtics. It's a defensive minded matchup, though. If there's one thing the Celtics are doing a lot this year and over the last 30 days, because that's where I'm at now, we're looking at 30-day splits for these teams and defenses. They're allowing the second most above the break threes, so 11+ shots made from that zone per game. Duncan Robinson's a top 25 guy in the NBA, and specifically, if we're looking at Detroit, he's like their only 3-point shooter that's consistent. And then you got to take a look at that and how these teams are operating. This is a really bad spot for Jalen Duren on paper, and it's even a bad spot for Cade Cunningham. And so the least pathway to defense getting there is against this wing shooter spot, and I think it's a really good spot for Duncan Robinson. He's another guy I'd probably look into. Like you obviously are playing like the over 2.5 or like the 3+, but I think it's a spot where you can look at the 4s and the 5s.
And Nikola Jokic, Joseph Rodriguez in the chat said Jokers do. Do you agree?
Yeah, certainly. Like it's whenever I look at Joker, we always have to like any player prop for an elite superstar, you have to look at like what's the best way I can get action on everything that he does, because he's a top 5 tracking stat guy for potential assists, for rebound chances, for paint scoring, for literally anything. He can do it all. And we saw that kind of play out last time against the Houston Rockets, which I think is a Western Conference Finals destination. I think that we're heading towards that route. And if we get it second round, that's even more incredible, as these two teams are pretty much obviously outside of OKC. Like this is the side of the bracket on the West that you don't want to be a part of. So I think that we look at the last matchup between the Houston Rockets and the Denver Nuggets, and we see that Joker just absolutely punished Şengün. There have been comments made in the media today from Jokic about how he respects him as a player and loves going up against him. I don't really pay attention to that, but I do think that at least right now, when looking like at 2 similar players at 2 different points of their careers, like Joker just has the upper hand in terms of facing off against Şengün. They obviously do not want to put Steven Adams on Nikola Jokic, so I don't think anybody can guard him anyway, and that resulted in 34 points last time out. I want to just say, though, if you're playing Jokic tonight in any kind of capacity, this is not a good rebounding spot. It's actually the worst rebounding spot in the NBA. Anybody facing the Rockets as a center is not going to line up well from a rebound spot. So if you're looking at anything, you're just looking at points for this one.